Modern science has proven that there is only one race, one species of humanity. Our DNA is 99.9% the same, and all of humanity initially came from Africa. Some of the early humans started leaving the African continent some 200,000 to 60,000 years ago. The story of humanity is about migration and breeding. Disparate groups of humans not only intermingled with each other, but with other groups of humans, including the Neanderthals and Denisovan. There is only one race of Homo sapiens. We're all related, one family, and we share ancestors all the way back to Africa. If records would go back that far, which they don't. The story of civilization, group identity, and things like writing to tell us the stories of the past weren't written down until the first alphabet and writings were penned back in ancient Sumerian, about 3400 BC. Writing followed town and settlement building, which was afforded by the invention of agriculture about 12,000 years ago. It is through this contextual lens that we discuss those brave souls who have fought against racism and discrimination in all its forms. In the tapestry of human history, threads of resistance weave a narrative that transcends borders and cultures. The legacy of resistance stands as a testament to the indomitable spirit that refuses to bow to injustice. In this three-part exploration, we embark on a journey to unravel the untold stories of civil rights movements around the world, examining the common threads that bind diverse struggles for equality and justice. The roots of global resistance can be traced back to the heart of oppression, where the seeds of dissent found fertile ground. As the 20th century dawned, a wave of awakening swept across nations, echoing the aspirations of those yearning for a world free from discrimination. From the bustling streets of Harlem to the remote corners of South Asia, the call for justice resonated, giving birth to a myriad of movements that would shape the course of history. One cannot discuss the legacy of resistance without acknowledging the American civil rights movement as a cornerstone. Led by luminaries like Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X, this movement sought to dismantle the systemic racism entrenched in the United States. However, across the Atlantic, parallel movements were emerging in response to colonialism, apartheid, and various forms of discrimination. In India, the struggle for independence from British rule became a crucible for civil rights activism. Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance inspired millions to stand against the oppressive yoke of colonialism. The Salt March of 1930 and the subsequent campaigns were not merely fights for political sovereignty but also battles against social and economic inequality, laying the foundation for a global discourse on civil rights. Meanwhile, the echoes of resistance reverberated in South Africa, where Nelson Mandela and others spearheaded the anti-apartheid movement. The fight against racial segregation transcended borders, capturing the attention and support of activists worldwide. The intertwining of these diverse struggles underscores the interconnectedness of humanity's pursuit of justice and equality. The legacy of resistance sets the stage for a deeper exploration of the civil rights movements that unfolded across continents. As we delve into the stories of those who dared to challenge the status quo, we will uncover the universal principles that bind these movements and examine the profound impact they have left on the tapestry of our shared history. Join us in Part 2 as we navigate through the tumultuous seas of activism, where the waves of change crashed against the shores of injustice, leaving an indelible mark on the sands of time. The mid-20th century marked a turning point for civil rights movements worldwide, as waves of change surged through the seas of activism. In Part 1, we explored the roots of dissent that sprouted in response to oppression. Now we navigate through the tumultuous currents that carry the aspirations of millions, forging a legacy that would resonate for generations to come. The American civil rights movement reached its crescendo in the 1950s and 1960s, with landmark events such as the Montgomery bus boycott, the March on Washington, and the signing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. became beacons of hope, advocating for racial equality through nonviolent means. Their impact was not confined to the United States. Their messages echoed globally, inspiring movements in places as diverse as South Africa, Northern Ireland, and beyond. In South Africa, the fight against apartheid intensified. Nelson Mandela, who had dedicated his life to dismantling the discriminatory system, became a symbol of resilience. The global call to end apartheid reverberated, leading to international sanctions and a heightened awareness of the interconnectedness of human struggles. The eventual release of Mandela in 1990 and the dismantling of apartheid showcased the power of global solidarity in the face of injustice. In Northern Ireland, the civil rights movement of the late 1960s sought to address systemic discrimination against the Catholic minority. Inspired by the principles of nonviolence championed by leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., activists marched for equal rights. However, The movement took a turbulent turn as it collided with the complexities of the Northern Ireland conflict. The echoes of the struggle for civil rights resonated with communities grappling with identity and historical tensions. Meanwhile, the echoes of resistance reached Latin America, where movements challenged authoritarian regimes. In countries like Chile and Argentina, citizens rallied against oppressive governments, demanding political freedoms and an end to human rights abuses. The struggles of the Southern Cone became part of a broader movement that sought to free nations from the shackles of dictatorship. As we traverse the waves of change that swept across continents, it becomes evident that the legacy of resistance is not confined by geographic boundaries. The interconnectedness of these movements underscores the shared yearning for justice, dignity, and equality. We've shed light on the pivotal moments and interwoven narratives that shaped the course of civil rights movements globally. In Part 3, we delve into the enduring impact of these struggles, exploring how the ripples of change continue to shape our contemporary world. Join us in the final installment as we unravel the ongoing journey of resistance and reflect on the lessons learned from those who dared to challenge the prevailing tides of injustice. As we stand on the precipice of the 21st century, the legacy of resistance continues to reverberate through the corridors of history. In this section of the video, we reflect on the enduring echoes of civil rights movements, examining how the struggles of the past have shaped our contemporary world and continue to inspire new generations to confront injustice. The dismantling of legal segregation in the United States did not mark the end of the American civil rights movement, but rather a transition into a new phase. The latter half of the 20th century and the early years of the 21st century witnessed the emergence of movements advocating for LGBTQ+ rights, gender equality, and the rights of indigenous peoples. The baton of resistance passed through hands eager to challenge evolving forms of discrimination and inequality. Globally, the impact of civil rights movements is evident in the progress made against systemic oppression. In South Africa, the post-apartheid era saw the establishment of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, symbolizing a commitment to healing and justice. Nelson Mandela's presidency became a beacon of hope, demonstrating the transformative power of reconciliation over vengeance. In Northern Ireland, the Good Friday Agreement of 1998 marked a significant milestone in the quest for peace and equality. While challenges persist, the acknowledgement of past injustices and the commitment to shared governance illustrate the enduring impact of civil rights activism in shaping the trajectory of conflict-ridden regions. In Latin America, movements for justice and accountability continue to resonate. The memory of disappeared activists and the pursuit of truth and justice in countries like Argentina and Chile serve as a testament to the ongoing struggle for human rights in the face of historical atrocities. The digital age has ushered in new avenues for global solidarity and activism. Movements such as Black Lives Matter leverage social media platforms to shine a spotlight on systemic racism and police brutality. Activists harness the power of connectivity to amplify marginalized voices and mobilize support for causes that transcend borders. The legacy of resistance, therefore, is not confined to the pages of history but lives on in the collective memory of those who continue to challenge oppression. The struggles of the past serve as guideposts for navigating the complexities of our present moment, urging us to remain vigilant against the erosion of civil liberties and the persistence of inequality. As we conclude our exploration of the legacy of resistance, we recognize that the journey is ongoing. The enduring echoes of civil rights movements remind us that the fight for justice is a perpetual endeavor, demanding our collective commitment to a world where the principles of equality, dignity, and human rights are unassailable. In the vast tapestry of human history, the legacy of resistance endures, weaving a narrative of courage, resilience, and the unwavering belief that a more just and equitable world is within our reach. Thank you for watching. My channel, known as the Renaissance Spirit, is dedicated to the pursuits of a just, equitable, and humanitarian world. Video topics encompass areas including the history, politics, religion, personal development, society, culture, social and environmental justice, and other topics of liberal arts and sciences, including ancient Rome and the Roman Empire, which is a great comparison and contrast of the modern world. Topics perfect for the true modern polymath. The Renaissance ushered in a golden age in the pursuit of knowledge both lost to time and yet to be discovered. It gave birth to the Enlightenment and the Age of Reason. Embracing truth, knowledge, and an understanding and compassion for humanity opens up the world to each of us individually and improves all of humanity, affording us the opportunity to be better stewards of the earth and to each other. The Renaissance spirit, more than just a philosophy or style, but a style for living, learning, growing, and thinking. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and share. If you're looking to explore and experience what life has to offer, I'm sure you'll enjoy the other videos on my channel. Please peruse, And let me know in the comments what you get out of them and what other videos you'd like to see. But first, please take the quiz next to see if you're a Renaissance spirit. Live the Renaissance spirit.